So you're dealing with an injury like, say, a torn up meniscus, just as a random example, and you're thinking about using BPC 157 to help manage things. And you're wondering, does it work? Will it fix it outright? What's going to happen? So let's talk about that. First, let's be clear. This is not medical advice. Ouch. Um, I'm not a doctor. This is just my experience using BPC 157 with my torn up meniscus. So I got started back in July of 24 using BPC 157. Started off, first couple of days, I injected morning and before bed, about 25 units on an insulin syringe. That gave me a little bit of a headache, so I cut it back to just 20 units each time. No headache with that. And then I just cut to doing it before bed, so just once a day. And then I did a second 5 milliliter vial through August, and then through, well, first half of August. So second half of August, all of September, October, most of November, I didn't use any BPC 157. During that time, honestly, it was like I hadn't hurt my knee. Things were fantastic. I've been lifting very heavy. And I do, so I go to the gym twice a day. I'll go in the morning to hit 1 or 2 heavy lifts and do some warm up and physical therapy work. And then in the late afternoon, I go to CrossFit and I'll do whatever workout we're doing at CrossFit. So quite a lot of physical activity. And then, so within all of that, I'm jumping, I do jump rope. So, working on double unders, pretty heavy back squats. I'm up in the 350-pound range. Deadlifts, I'm pushing towards 500 pounds for a deadlift. As a matter of fact, this year, in November, we did the CrossFit total, and I finished with 1,005 pounds total. 185 shoulder press is my 1RM. So all of that, through 2.5 months without using any BPC was great. I started using again in November, doing it every other day. Not really because things had deteriorated. It was just running up to the CrossFit total. I started pulling very heavy deadlifts, and I was working on. I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted my back squat to be higher, but I can't do math, and I screwed it up. So I ended up with just a 355 instead of a 365 like I meant. Anyway, set that aside. We did good. But the BPC 157 won't fix the torn up meniscus. Frankly, until they figure out the stem cells or some technology like that, nothing's really going to repair a torn up meniscus. But the BPC definitely helps keep the swelling down. It does seem to help heal it, and get the scar tissue to do its thing. And in general, I feel good. I'm able to do everything I want to do, and the discomfort, if any, is very mild. Another upside to BPC 157 that was not expected is your sleep. Well, my sleep anyway is incredible. The amount of time I use, I forget the app that I use for tracking my sleep, but the iPhone has its own built-in stuff. My sleep has been incredible. I fall asleep. I've always had an easy time falling asleep, but I fall asleep even faster now. And I stay asleep longer without any wake ups or anything like that. So if you're thinking about using BPC 157 for whatever your injury, I also have torn my rotator cuff in the past, crushed my wrist. I collect injuries like they're Pokemon. So, anyway, if you're going to use it, I highly recommend get with a doctor who knows what they're doing. Somebody figured out that I use Cell Spa and Trophy Club, They're not sponsoring. I'm not getting any money. I wish they'd. One thing, BPC is expensive. And even if you go to one of the online pharmacies and get it through them, which that, in my opinion, is kind of a gamble. Are you really getting a quality product in that case? I don't know. I haven't used them. The doctor I work with, he sends my order in to a compounding pharmacy, and they ship the stuff to me. And as far as I can tell, what they're shipping me is very high quality. Hopefully that's what you get if you decide to try this. But take your time. I spent a lot of time on PubMed and other medical sources, reading up on the research and what all to expect using BPC. I constantly complain there's not a lot of clinical trials on humans. There's a lot of animal data, but I don't know about you. I'm not an animal. I don't identify as an animal. I rescue dogs. That's it. Just thinking through what to close out with, it's, the stuff works, and I do think it is worth the money, even being expensive. You don't have to stay on it all the time, as I've tested out. I can go off of it, and the healing that it has done does last for a while. So you don't have to just keep shooting it every single day to keep things going, which is great news. But in my opinion, at least with something like a torn up meniscus, you're always going to be treating it. So anyway, does it work? Yes. Is it going to completely heal it? No, it will not. And unfortunately, short of doing it, and even a knee replacement isn't a complete fix, because guess what? Your knee replacement after 15 years has to be redone. So I'll do 15 years of BPC over having somebody cut my leg off and screw it back on, Anyway, that's what I got for you. Happy New Year, and good luck. I hope whatever you do, it works for you. Laters.